Hey, today's video is all about what's happening on the inside, what's happening in our minds, what's happening in our hearts. And what's interesting is when we are put under pressure, what's happening on the inside is always what comes out. So if we work on our inside game, we work on what's happening inside of our hearts, we can guarantee that when life brings us pressure, when some things come our way, we respond with gratitude and we grow. We grow in extraordinary ways. I have a really cool lesson that I'm going to show you with some examples, which includes popcorn. Hey friends, I am Natalie Kilborn, and I am so thankful that you've come to my channel today to hang out. This channel is all about building faith, family, and business. We talk about all things from being a mom or dad, how to grow in that area of your life. We also focus on entrepreneurship. I'm super passionate about that, helping people get better in their own life, learning, growing. I mean, I'm in a library full of books myself, just growing and learning. And when we do that, it translates into additional income in our businesses, because when we put out a better version of ourselves, magically we attract amazing people and can do better things. I'm also super passionate on the channel about investing in real estate and doing some other things. So welcome to my channel. You are in for a treat today. The reason why I say treat is because I got popcorn on my desk. We're going to be doing a lesson on what is happening on the inside. Are you ready? So let's get right to it. I have a great lesson today with some props, so it's going to be fun. I grew up in Iowa. If anybody grew up in Iowa, you know there's cornfields everywhere. And I spent a couple summers de-roguing. I don't know if you've ever done that, but it is hard work. But one of the things we're going to talk about today has to do with this little kernel of popcorn. Do you see that? This is a unpopped seed, really, a popcorn seed, if you will. And this is tiny. It's little. And they all look the same. I have a whole bowl right here on my desk. They all generally look the same. They're the same color. They're the same shape. You would say, oh, that's all popcorn. And in a lot of ways, people are just like this. Most of us have hair, right? Most of us have 2 arms and 2 legs, and we're generally look the same, where it's like, oh, what does that girl have that that girl doesn't have? Or what does that guy have that that guy doesn't have? What are the things that set us apart? When we all look pretty much the same on the outside, what are the things that set us apart? So let me give you a little science lesson. Are you ready? This is like Bill Nye the Science Guy show. So this kernel of popcorn has everything that it needs to survive. It has water to feed itself and grow. It also has a food source. And so when you plant this, it's going to grow more kernels, right? Here's the cool thing about popcorn. When you heat up popcorn and you put it under pressure, what happens? Come on, have you ever been to the movie theaters? It's the best kind of popcorn. When you heat up this hard kernel and you put it under pressure, it explodes. The water expands and the kernel explodes. And here's what's interesting. What comes from the inside of this is significantly bigger. Look, it looks like I'm wearing glasses. It's significantly bigger than what is showing on the outside. Have you all ever thought about the lesson in the popcorn? What is happening on the inside of me, what is happening on the outside of me, what people can see, what people judge, what people assume is so much smaller than what's happening on the inside of me. All of the things that people can't see in my life, all of the inside victories, all of the times that, man, I check the boxes, I do the activity, I read the book, I get the mentorship, I grow. People can't see the inside game. They only see the outside game. And so often we can allow people to say like, oh, she's average. She looks just like everybody else. She's from the same town that I'm from, or she's from the same school that I'm from, or she has the same type of family I am from, or she has the same current financial situation that I'm in. She can't do anything. But here's what I know. Are you all ready for this? People don't know what's happening on the inside of you. And when you're put under pressure and your shell explodes, what comes out? When you're put under financial pressure and your shell explodes, what comes out? Is it your gifts and your talents and your skills? And you say like, look, I'm an entrepreneur. I'll figure this out. let's go. When your kids are driving you crazy and you're put under pressure and you explode, what comes out? Is it grace? Is it kindness? Is it, hey, let's get this done? Is it teamwork? Is that what comes out? When you get in a pressure cooker with your spouse, y'all, I've been married for 25 years. Like, not everything is butterflies and roses, right? When you get put in a pressure cooker with your spouse and you explode, and what's happening on the inside of you comes out, what does that look like? Is it wildness and name calling and things like that? Or is it peace and questions and kindness and forgiveness and love? Like, what comes out when you are put in the pressure cooker? I'm going to talk about 3 things that we can be doing every single day to grow our inside game, not only in our head, but in our heart. So that when we are put under pressure, we have some things already worked out. We have some, if you will, muscles built to where it's like, okay, I've been doing the hard work. I've been doing the hard work. And when I explode, this is the great stuff that comes out of me. Number 1, the best way that you can develop your inside game is to develop discipline. This is key in all areas of your life. This channel, we're talking about building faith, family, and business. What are the disciplines that you need to develop in your faith that when life doesn't go your way, when you feel knocked down, when you feel like, man, the devil is attacking me, what happens? What happens when you get under pressure? Do you back down? Are you like, oh, I'm not going to strive for that anymore because clearly I'm facing too much resistance? Is it, in your faith, is it, I'm just too busy to do my devos or to pray or get in my prayer closet or whatever that looks like for you? What are you doing? What are your daily disciplines that you can do with your faith that can help you grow? And when you're under pressure, amazing things come out. You can be joyful even though you're walking through a trial because your heart's solid, right? You've already determined some things. You've already determined that God is good and he takes care of you and he gives you good things. And he's for you, not against you. You've already determined those things so that when life comes along, you're like, oh, I got this. I already know what's happening on the inside, so therefore I can respond better on the outside. That's faith. Let's talk about family. When you're under pressure in your family, how are you responding? What are your daily disciplines? Develop discipline. That's point number 1. Develop discipline. What does that look like in your family every single day? How are you developing the discipline to not fly off the handle? How are you developing the discipline as a mom just to say, I need to take a break and then I'm going to come back to that kid, or I'm going to come back to that situation, or I'm going to come back to that issue? And how are you developing disciplines in your business? Develop those disciplines inside your business every single day. Do the activities. Tackle the hard stuff quickly. It will help you so much to be able to move forward in your business. Discipline creates motivation. So when you're developing disciplines, you've got to create the habit and then the motivation will come. I think so often people think, well, when I get motivated, I will start to do this every single day. When I get motivated, I'll do my 10,000 steps. When I get motivated, I'll build my business. When I get motivated, I'll do this. It's not how discipline and the inside game works. The discipline creates the habit. It's like, I'm going to do this every single day, no matter what. I'm disciplining myself to create the skill, to create the habit, and then the habit will create the motivation. I am currently in the discipline and the habit of walking 10,000 steps every single day. I'm developing my inside game, my discipline on that. I was not motivated in the beginning. I was like begrudgingly going out there and getting my steps in. I'm like, whoa, right? Sometimes you just got to make yourself do it. But now that I'm in the habit, now that I'm in the pattern, now that I'm like 5 months into 10,000 steps a day, I'm not going to miss it. I'm motivated. I'm like, oh man, I got to go out and get my walk in today because I'm not going to miss it. So the discipline will create the habit, and the habit will create the motivation. And that's what's going to help you on your inside game. So number 2 is deal with tough stuff quickly. I think so often that we can put that conversation off, or we can put that challenge off, or we can put that thing in our business that, man, it just feels like it's grating on us every single day. And one thing that I know is the deeper the roots go, the tougher it is to pull out the plant, right? Like, I'm kind of the crazy plant lady. When something gets really deep roots, I'll show you. I have actually another little thing at my desk. I am cultivating this, and it has teeny tiny baby roots. I just pulled it out of this thing of water. Very, 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 very easy. I didn't even have to give it any tug, and it's just there because there's not roots rooted in the soil. But when we let things grow, and they grow these roots, deep, deep, long, big, hairy roots in your life, whether it's in your business or in your family, it's harder and harder to pull that weed up. It's harder and harder to remove that from your life because those roots are going deep. So let's deal with things quickly. The tough stuff, let's get it over quickly. Let's have the conversations in love so that when we get under pressure and we explode, great things are coming out. The last one, number 3, develop an attitude of gratitude. Make gratitude a priority in everything that you're doing. And what's interesting is when I have that mindset of I can always be grateful for something, I can always find the thing in the situation that I'm grateful for, no matter what it is. It makes everything just a little bit easier in my mental mindset every single day. So developing an attitude of gratitude, that when I get put under pressure and when I get heated up and when I explode, it's like the thing that's coming out of me is gratitude. I might have got in a car accident, but thank God we're all okay. Like, I have an attitude of gratitude. Like, that situation wasn't what I expected to happen, but man, I'm so thankful that it didn't turn into this, or I'm so thankful that she was willing to work with me on that, or man, I'm so thankful. And when you have that attitude of gratitude, what is coming out of you when you're put under pressure will be different. It will make a big impact in your day. And as we close out this little conversation about being put under pressure and what's coming on the outside, I want to remind you one other thing. These all look very similar, right? I mean, they're very similar in shape, similar in size. Some of them are a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. They're very similar. But what's interesting is kind of, I was looking at all of these before I got started, and kind of like snowflakes. The popcorn is all different. This one's kind of little. This one has like a huge bubble and a little tiny nub. This one is just wild and crazy. He's got little things going everywhere. What's interesting is, although we're all human beings, although we're all very similar, we all have different capacities. Some people have giftings that look like this, and it's very different than mine. Some people have this, and it's different than mine. Some people have this. But what's interesting is, if we judge a book by its cover and we say, oh, we're all people, we all have the same gifts and talents, nobody can do anything extraordinary, we miss out on all of this amazingness that pops out on the inside of people. We don't know that maybe our neighbor is an incredible singer and she's really gifted in that. We don't know that somebody at your church is an incredible business owner and man, they know how to run a business. We don't know that this person is gifted with amazing things to fix cars or to babysit kids or to be a teacher, whatever that is. Let's not judge a book by its cover and say, oh, everybody's pretty much the same. But let's remember that we don't know people's capacity. This is what we can see. This is what we can see. I can't tip it very much or it might fall out. This is what we can see, and this is the capacity of people. Don't underestimate, number one, your own capacity, and number two, other people's capacity. God has gifted every single one of you with unique gifts, unique talents. Let's go explode some really amazing things when we get put under pressure and win. Help ourselves win, help our families win, help others win. And when we do that, when we work on the inside game so that when we're under pressure, amazing things happen on the inside that now comes out on the outside. Oh, we can change the world. I know it. So I hope you enjoyed that little lesson on popcorn, and I hope the next time that you're at the movie theater or you're eating some butter popcorn, watching a show, I hope you think of this lesson and you remember your capacity is amazing. You were born with greatness inside of you and we're just waiting for it to come out. So y'all are awesome. Like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have a bunch of stuff coming out, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me. So have a great day.